Hello everyone and welcome to what is going to be part one of a little mini-series here on the channel of building the first indoor adventure scary coaster. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty self-explanatory really. It's going to be a big building full of the roller coaster. There'll be twists and turns and not any loops, sadly, not for this one anyway. However, it's still going to be a pretty good ride. So the entirety of the roller coaster, including the chain lift, will be inside the building. I sort of got the idea from the Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster at Movie World. It's quite similar to, it's probably the most similar coaster that you can get to the actual ride in the game. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to be building a spooky adventure roller coaster, which will be it'll be pretty cool because it's the first indoor coaster I've ever built, and I'm excited for this little adventure. So I hope you are too. Hope you stick around and enjoy what I produce right now. We're producing the coaster. So as you can see, it's very compact. I didn't want a massive building because that just makes more work for me, but I also wanted it to be quite big as well. So we do quite a big coaster and it wraps around itself and sort of interacts with itself quite a bit, which is definitely what I wanted. I wanted a nice tight, I'm not sure if you have been on the Scooby-Doo coaster at Movie World, but it's very close quarters, it's very compact, it's very sharp twist turns up and down like little speed hills. It's very, very good. So that's definitely what I wanted here. I wanted it to be, yes, very nice and compact, very interactive with itself, and I think that makes the actual building a lot better as well, because we can have like multiple rooms, we can have multiple sections of like ducking under things. For example, I've got the adventure pack, so maybe we can do some swinging things or like pop out animations, or just lots of stuff that you'll be able to find interesting while on a roller coaster in the dark. Make it so it is lit at some point, not the entirety of the coaster. I want to be able to see, because it is going to be in one big building. We'll try break it up as best as we can in multiple sections of the building and have multiple walls and everything up, so you're not sort of able to see the entirety of the coaster. But I don't want the whole coaster to be seen when you're on the ride anyway, so I want like low dim lit lights, which I think we'll be able to achieve quite nicely. I haven't built one of these before, so I don't really know. It's definitely very rough right now. It does change, not quite a bit, but it does change in the aspect that we get rid of the brake hill at the top there. We change the friction. We bank the corners a lot more, so it feels like you're going to fall out majority of the time, which, like the Scooby-Doo coaster, you feel like your life's on edge. So that's definitely what we wanted. With this coaster, we also get rid of that boost section there, because once we change the friction on the coaster, we no longer need it. It gets too fast and we don't want people falling out of the coaster. So yeah, we get rid of those few things, do a couple more banks, and then that's sort of like the main layout of the coaster. We do work a bit more on the coaster for a little bit longer until we get into the actual starting of the building. Now, we don't exactly finish it this episode. As you can imagine, it is quite a big task, even though it is quite small. We do get some of the walls up, the flooring. We sort of get the first little section above, and I also now realize that I didn't make the floor level, so that makes my job doing the flooring a hell of a lot harder, because, well, your boy didn't make it level and maybe didn't want to check that it was level. So we have like these little lower sections, so it's sort of shown that the coaster was kind of built around this building rather than just have it, we built the coaster, then built the building around it, even though that's not really probably how it works in the real world. But you know what? This is Planet Coaster, and I wanted to, you know, bend the laws of physics, if you will. We also add a nice little sort of dungeon, if you will, section just before the chain lift. It's a lot lower than the rest of the flooring, so we add a nice little dome section here, and then that goes through that a little bit, so it makes it very spooky in that sense. But yeah, we get the flooring all done, we do the little dugout sections, we get all that done, then we start working on the first little building sanctuary, it's not a sanctuary, building, settlement area for the coaster. It's going to be pretty much from when you start the coaster to when you're about to go on the chain lift. That's sort of the main first area for the coaster. So yeah, we get all that done in this episode and the next episode, and so on and so forth. We'll keep going until we finish. So if you are new here, welcome. My name is Jade and I build stuff on Planet Coaster. I do have a series on both Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. So if you are new here and haven't seen that yet, highly recommend go check them out, because it's a pretty cool project. So yeah, I wanted to have majority of the coaster in the walls. We do have to do some little divot areas where, just like here, we're doing a lower section, we do little pop-outs of the wall to fit the extra bits of the coaster that pop out, but we also do little through window sections, so it sort of comes out and goes back into the building, which I think is a pretty cool addition, makes it a little bit more fancy. Like, for example, I'm referencing Movie World again, the Superman coaster. It sort of goes in and out of the building where you line up. So I think that is a pretty cool addition to this building. Now, it's not going to obviously be the best indoor coaster that you've ever laid your eyes on, but I think for my first attempt at one, I think it's pretty good. So I think for my first attempt at a indoor coaster, I think we do a pretty good job, just sort of fixing all the terrain at the moment for the walls and the flooring. Wanted to make sure that it was, nothing was clipping in and out, because I want it to look like a proper indoor coaster. So yeah, we make all the flooring flat, we get all the concrete flooring for these little dugout bits here, and then got to make sure there's nothing poking in through the walls. And then we are good to go to start, just starting off slow with the decorating and then the detailing, and I think it goes alright. So yeah, we're just fixing up the flooring here, make it look really quite nice. I actually really like the sort of like off-white, cream, dark grey sort of vibe that the floors and walls are giving. We obviously add a lot of other colours of walls and flooring, but I do like how it looks, how it's nice and clean and modern with the dark grey walls and floors, especially with the black track and the white supports. I think it looks really, really neat. We do keep most of the supports. I think they look really nice against the flooring and the walls. Like, it just looks really nice, especially once all these floors are done with the divots here. It looks like a modern coaster. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out, with it all being like nice and square and no terrain, and it just looks like, look how good that looks. That looks so good. So now we are starting on a little building section here. Nothing fancy, just sort of like a little clock tower. Wanted to try and get sort of as close as possible to the tracks, just to make it, feel more exhilarating, like you're gonna get your arms chopped off and sort of thing. So yeah, we do a little building there, and then we sort of are just doing some rough blueprints for blocking off certain walls and wanting to, create a sort of room within a room, if you will. So that's what we're doing here, just sort of, doing flooring and walls and cutting off certain sections to make the building start to come alive, I guess. And here we are going to be like sort of manipulating the track a lot as well while we're doing this, because like I want obviously nothing to clip while you're on the ride, so we're going to need to, you know, yeah, move the tracks a little bit. Like for instance at the entrance just there, it's pretty tiny, so we'll need to adjust that, and we'll also need to adjust like the height and length of walls and roofs and stuff, just so yeah we aren't obviously clipping anything. So yeah, we're going to be starting somewhat decorating while I still build the actual rooms. So that's we're sort of going to be doing like room by room here, not going to get too ahead of myself because it is the first one, so I'm just sort of going to take it step by step, I guess. So we'll first work on the like entry room, I guess you could call what this section is, between the starting and the chain lift. So yeah, I'm just getting, you know, going through it. It's sort of going to be a Western adventure scary coaster, if you will. So I think that's sort of the vibe. I don't really know any other genre or how to build anything else, so that's what we're going with, just doing that sort of thing. Now if you have any suggestions of things I could add to make it a little bit more scary or more adventurous, or just any other suggestions in general, please let me know down below. It's much appreciated. And I also want to try keep, I know I am sort of trying to hide the support here a little bit, but I definitely want the supports to be shown because I think they just look really nice. Like I said before, the white supports, grey flooring, I think it just looks really nice. So yeah, we do keep as much of the supports shown as possible, which is very nice. So yeah, we are going for obviously a wooden theme, as you can probably tell. That's sort of my go-to, but we obviously get there in the end. It's very rough right now, but we add a lot of stuff. So make sure you are subscribed to see the next part, which will be going out hopefully soon. And also go follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/JadeSpate Gaming. So yeah, I'll do some little, because you don't really want to be seeing like 15-20 minutes of me just placing these sorts of walls down. I will be doing some streaming over there of this, so if it is a bit what's the word, a lot of progress between episodes, that's probably why. So just putting it to night time and just seeing what sort of the lighting sitch is going on, like especially adding, so once we add the roof in, it does get quite a bit more bright just because there's less space. So we do change some of the lighting and obviously make it a little bit more spooky, because we want it to be, you know, dim and not very bright. So yeah, that's going to be it for part 1. I hope you enjoyed. It's a little bit of a sneak peek, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, part 2, coming soon. See ya.